Good morning, Floss Tube. My name is Nicola, aka Simply a Stitcher. I thought this morning I'd do another stitch along. Today I'm working on City of Love by Stitchrovia on Emma Congdon, and that is the beautiful design with some fabulous colours in it. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I got sucked in to do this. I got insta-enabled by the lovely Emily.Brand. So today I thought I'd just do a little stitch along. Now, just a warning in advance, I've got a new camera set up, a new toy, a bit of stash if you like. So I have to sort of see how this goes. If you do get some wobbles, I'm really sorry, but I'm just still getting used to it. So I'd like to say a big thank you. A big thank you to everybody who's watched my videos, everybody who's liked my videos, everybody who's commented, everybody who's followed me on Instagram. And just to remind you that if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. It helps my channel no end, and it helps my visibility. The more I do, the more content I can make, the more I can share with you lovely people. So at the moment, this piece, I'm about 600 stitches in. It's just a little corner section there, look. And as you can see, oh, there we go, see, wobble. One of the houses is already starting to come in. I'm currently working with thread number 819. It's a very pale pink, and in this square it's mainly a case of do one, miss one. So how's everybody doing? I hope we're all keeping well, especially in these turbulent times, but things here in the UK are starting to get just that little bit easier now, and it's great. Still cautious here. I don't really go out an awful lot. I'm still awaiting my second dose of the vaccine, but I think if we exercise enough caution, I think we'll be absolutely fine. Still planning on taking the youngest off to London in a few weeks' time. She's really looking forward to that. She told everybody who'll listen. So yeah, those of you who watch my main update will know that I've had a few problems with one of my children, my middle daughter. Well, sadly those problems are still ongoing. I have to kind of park her and not deal with her unless somebody reaches out to me, because I just have to protect me and my other two daughters and husband. We have to protect ourselves as well. I've learnt a lot of things from what I've heard that I really don't like, but hey, what can I do? So yeah, life continues to be pootling on in Chez Simply. Still working from home, although this week I am on annual leave, hence another little stitch with me. The lighting on this is really bright. Hold on just a second. I just want you to see those colours. I think that's a bit better. Yeah, so I'm on annual leave this week, which I'm planning to fill in by doing an awful lot of stitching. I am doing 4 projects now, because there's also another new start, which again you'll know about if you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @simplyaStitcher. But I will go through it in my Floss tube at the end of the month, because that's the next time I plan on doing a main update, is at the end of the month. Anyway, it's currently a little after 6:15 in the morning. I'm late up today. Split that one, that's it. Late up today. I'm normally up just after 5. The 2 girls that are here are still sleeping. The cat's been fed and I think she's gone off to sleep it off. The husband's at work and I'm taking every advantage of the quiet time. So, as I said, I got this new toy. It's a little portable webcam that I can use to film, and I'm not having to look into a tiny screen to make sure that why is this one not splitting? That's it. I'm not having to look into a tiny screen to make sure it's still recording. I'm not worrying that it's going to cut me off because it's connected directly into my computer. So I'm actually looking at myself stitching on a screen in front of me. The only thing is that it's taking me a wee while to get the needle through the holes, because I only have a tiny gap in between the webcam to look and see where I'm actually leaving these stitches. So, you know, anyway, so let's just talk a little bit about this piece. As I said, it's an Emma Congdon or Stitchrovia piece. I downloaded the chart from Etsy. I think it's £6 something in English money, in UK pounds. I think it's about $8 or $9 US dollars, because I know Etsy tends to work on the USD. Dang it. So I downloaded it, I printed it and got started. I could have loaded it into Pattern Keeper, but when I did download the Pattern Keeper version, I found that I would have had to have sat there and inputted all of the thread numbers, and considering this uses about 25 threads, I ain't got time for that. In the time it takes me to input all of those thread time it takes me to input all of those thread numbers, I could have just printed the chart and put my first stitches in, which is exactly what happened. It's a lovely chart, very clear, nicely done. It has a floss key for both DMC and anchor, so if anyone out there is still using anchor threads, you know, and you wanted to stitch this piece, there's no reason why you couldn't do it. The chart is 6 pages long, and the design size itself is 180 by 180 stitches, and I'm stitching it on 14 count white Ada. I'm using a magic guide simply because I'm lazy and I don't want to count. I just like to do these things box by box. I do like to do it in this sort of stepped style, you know, as you can see here, because then when it comes to parking a thread, I can either park in the square below, in the square adjacent to the left, if it's not already parked in there, and use it in that next square, or in the square in this square to the right. So parking, it gives me more options. If anybody's interested and wants to know how I do set up my designs and my parking and the method that I use, because I do know it's slightly different to what some other people do. What I tend to do is complete a square and park my threads, usually in the square underneath, and then when it comes to this square, I move all of my parked threads. Let's see if this one will do it. Oh, do you know, you just to try and do something and your thread decides to stick to the flipping aider. Move all my threads upwards like that, and then I work the loose threads from the bottom of the square up. So if there were more threads in this square, this one would probably be the last one. And then I work from the top down in any empty spaces and fill in. It's just my little way, and it's the way I've always done it. But you know, if anybody's interested in me doing a video, you know, then please by all means just give me a shout. I'm working these just with a plain nickel needle. I think it's a 24. Yep, it's a 24. And I am using the call for DMC floss from my extensive cone stash. Just, you know, in case, you know, you've not seen any of my other videos, I have the full set of DMC cones because I previously kitted for Sarah Payne in Pain Free Crafts, but now she's taken on that kitting process herself. But my husband, who is the guy behind Stitch Picks, will still occasionally kit up Stitch Picks projects for people. And of course, if I ever need floss, I have a never-ending supply, so certainly got enough to see me through anyway. So if ever you see me with stash and haul in my floss tubes, certainly for the foreseeable future, that stash is unlikely to be thread, unless it's speciality thread. Now, I kind of have a bit of a suppose a stoicness about my way. I am, as my name suggests, being simply a stitcher, a simple person when it comes to stitching. I like white cloth, although it's not unheard of, as you'll have seen, for me to stitch on black or navy. I like my DMC floss, and I like my full coverage. So I don't really know much about speciality threads because I don't do Mirabilias or Nora Corbett's. I don't do anything that asks for, I don't know, Weeks Dye Works or Karen Threads, or what's the others? Do you know, it's too early in the morning for this. I can't think. You'll get the kind of what I mean, you know. There's a lot of hand-dyed people out there. Not people. Oh my goodness, can you not tell it's just past 6 in the morning? My brain's not woken up, I swear to God. There's a lot of people out there doing hand-dyed fabrics and hand-dyed floss. You know, I mean, here in the UK, we've got KLT, earthquake, KLT Charting and Joe Deary. KLT Kim, she does some fantastic charts as well. I've done a couple of hers. And then Michelle at Joe Deary, she does, she does a lot of hand-dyed fabric and hand-dyed floss. But before everybody goes running off over there, please do go and support these smaller companies, because they are supporting their family by doing this. But be aware that the pandemic has hit needlework suppliers hard in fabric, and thread is sadly lacking in coming to them, because there just isn't enough to go around, and the B, because of the pandemic, they've reduced people in production, so there isn't enough being produced for enough to go around. But definitely, if hand-dyed things are your bag, go take a look. But anyway, as I was saying, me being simply a stitcher, hand-dyed threads don't really feature. They don't. I think the most out there, the most something different that I've ever done is when I've used Kreinik, or like a DMC variegated. I did do a piece many moons ago as a model stitch, which was a Joe Deary one, and it was a witch and like a silhouette, and I did it in this dark coloured thread. I can't remember the name of it, if I'm honest. I might have to dig that out and show it, because I've got photographs of the piece, I know that. If I haven't got the piece, I think Michelle at Jadiri's got the piece. But anyway, I digress. So I think the thing is with speciality threads, I think they kind of scare me a little bit, because I don't want to get it wrong, and they are a lot of money. And even though I'm not poor, I'm not so well off that I can just go off and buy to my heart's content. It doesn't work like that. I'm still supporting the children and the husband and so on, and I just don't have the means. So if anybody has got any ideas about hand-dyed thread collection, or whatever, that's, I wouldn't say cheap, I wouldn't say inexpensive, but what I would say is something that's value for money, that I'm going to get. Like, for example, I'm planning on doing another long dog sampler. If I could get at the right price, the right hand-dyed floss, great. Let's look at that. I hear a lot of people talking about Mrs. Sada's silks. I daren't have a look, because I don't know, if it's going to be the right thing. But hit me up with any sort of ideas and things that you have. So that's my ramble about floss. So there we go. So I've been watching a bit of Floss Tube this week. I found a couple of new ones. Just trying to think. I can't even remember the flipping new. Aren't I awful? Watching people adding to my subscription list. Cannot remember usernames. I might have to dig those out and perhaps put them in my Floss Tube. I do notice that there's a lot of newer Floss Tubers than me. I mean, I've been sort of on here about a month, which I know is not a long time. I'm up over 200 subscribers, and that's fantastic, and I thank you all. Then I see other people, and they're like 600, and I'm like, what? What did I do wrong? And I don't think I did anything wrong. It's just that I don't share Floss Tube on such as my personal Facebook page or anything like that. Maybe I ought to try. And of course, maybe if one of you lovely people with a floss tube with thousands of subscribers, you know, you might like to help a gal out and give me a wee shout out. Who knows? But, you know, let's see, shall we? It's such a short thread. Hold a second. Wait a minute. There's going to be an earthquake while I try and thread this. Because the thread piece is quite short, and I am not attaching a new piece of thread for one stitch. Because I'm working off metre lengths, folded in half, loop start, and each one is worth around 50 stitches. Just loop my... Oh, I've lost one of my threads. Flipping heck. You know what I'm going to do? No, it's not going to work like that. I'm going to have to do it again. Oh my God. Don't you just love it when it's early o'clock, you've got the right time, right atmosphere in the house, cat hair, flipping moggy. Oh damn it. Yeah, right time. House is quiet. You settle down, have a stitchy session. It all goes Pete on because I've just lost my needle. Ugh. I'll be getting the old drits out in a bit. Find that. That's it. There we go. Okay. Where were we? You might have noticed that the stitching has moved around a little bit, and that's because I'm using my scroll frame and I don't have a stand that will hold the scroll frame, so I'm having to sort of have it on my knee, balanced on a chair, not a chair, balanced on my table, which is why it looks like a flipping earthquake's hit. I'm using an Elversea Easy Clip scroll frame, and I use a Siesta floor stand with the clamps on the top that sort of clamp the stand into, you know, in between sort of two jaws, sort of like that, and then, you know, they go like that. But the problem is that with that floor stand, if I put my Elversea frame on it, it just cracks. It tries to crack the easy grips. So that's not good. I want to be able to use my stand, you know, and not worry that it's damaging the frame. But anyway, so I'm afraid it's going to be a bit earthquakey with this one. Now, the next stitch with me that I plan on doing, I'll probably have Pandemic back out, because guess what? Nicola has done absolutely zero work on Pandemic since the last stitch with me, even though I'm supposed to be doing it as part of one strand a night or one strand a morning. But I haven't, because I've been so focused on my brother's piece, the motorcycle. And again, if you've not seen that one, it's a It's green Kawasaki bike. That's all I know. Not bike inclined. If you've not seen it, just again pop over to the old Insta. Follow me on there. I do follow back. And you can take a look at my progress on there. I'm just shy of 31% completed on it. It's a full coverage piece, 109,000 stitches. My plan was by the end of May to get up to 50%. I think I'm on track to do it if I put the work in. Because then I want to not necessarily put it on hiatus, but I want to reduce the stitching days on it, because currently it gets 7 days a week. And even if, for example, I pick up this or my other new start, they're not getting nearly as much as that. Not by any stretch. Avarice this month has had nothing. Absolutely nothing. And, you know, she's a bit sort of lost, I think, at the moment. But, you know, we do take on these things, aren't we? Silly stitches that we are. Take on all of these projects. We want to do all the things. Coffee time. Oh, that's better. Yeah, we want to do all the things. And you can never have too many whips. I don't care what anybody says. There's a lady that I follow on YouTube and Instagram that did a whip parade, and it was in like 2 parts because she had literally 100 whips. And I'm like, yeah, oh my god, I'd love to have 100 whips. But then I thought, well, no, I wouldn't, because I'd just stress myself out that they needed finishing. So yeah, there we go. So today is a Monday, which means that in a short while, when I've done this square and we've finished here, I'll be getting up the girls, one to school and one to college. I don't think they're going to like it very much because it's a miserable old day. The weather here in the UK has been pretty atrocious over the weekend. It's not been very nice at all. We've had a lot of rain, we've had thunder and lightning, we've had hail. We've also had sunshine, and it's been so warm that we've had to have the windows open while it's been thundering and lightning and hail. Doesn't do very much for the way, I mean, things are not great anyway with the way that I feel mentally. I don't feel mentally well with everything that's going on. Certainly with my other daughter. And I think the lockdown has affected us all in a more profound way than we ever imagined. So last week, you know, and this week with me being off and I want to try and get out a little bit, it looks like the weather might put the sort of the mockers on that, because it's going to rain again all week. And, you know, whilst that's not really an excuse for not going out would not be pleasant in the rain, would it? So at least I do get my stitchy pleasure. Earthquake. I'll sit here by the hour and stitch. My husband says to me, he says, well, you're not you without a needle in your hand. You know, that's my thing. But, you know. Anyway, so before my next Floss tube update, which will be in a couple of weeks. I might get a silent stitch with me in, you know, with a bit of music, just really to add some content, because I know I'm not doing an awful lot of content. You know, one video every 2 weeks is not a lot, but you know, the problem is with the children and this being such a noisy house, I have to get out of bed early in the morning. Whilst I don't have an issue with doing that, it makes me tired for the rest of the day, and I don't tend to be as productive. So next week it's just me here on my own. My husband's going to Kent to go and film for his channel. He hit 1,000 subs the other day. I am so proud of him. He's thrilled to bits about it, and you know, really I couldn't be happier. He thought I was going to hit more because, you know, my subs kind of went up quite quickly, but it's a completely different demographic. He does the villages and geography stuff, whereas I do the stitching stuff. And I'm hoping that he sees that, you know, even if I do eventually, probably not, overtake his subscribers, even albeit briefly, it will be simply because the demographic is different. I've seen quite a lot of YouTubers grow, and I sincerely hope that I will as well. I can't do it though without your support, and as I said earlier, the best way to do that is by hitting that subscribe button. Even if you never watch another video of mine again, even if you don't really have much interest in Stitch with me and you're just there for the Floss tube, please hit that button. It helps me no end. This is a pretty colour. It's 761, and you can't really see it because the light, I've got a ring light up ahead. Like squash stitch there. That's better. It's like a peachy pink, like a salmony peachy pink. The choices of colour in this piece are just lovely, and I'm jumping all over, you know, in my conversation in this, and I really hope that you can all keep up, or you know, at least just have a little chuckle about my squirrel brain, the rabbit holes that I keep popping down. So there we go. I think probably the rabbit hole thing is because it's so early. Some people don't see more than one 6 o'clock in a day. Some people don't see more than one 7 o'clock in a day. But you know. So yeah, week off this week. Hubby's away next week. I'm back at work. I've got a week off again the following week. I'll film the Floss tube, and then I should be taking the smaller one, the youngest, to London. She is Harry Potter mad. Oh, what have I done? What a pillock. She's Harry Potter mad, so when we hit King's Cross, I can see her spending some time at platform 9 3/4. So yeah, she wants to buy another wand. We also already have the Draco Malfoy one. She wants another, and then it's a few days of sightseeing and London spoilage for her, I think. I think she can't wait. I'm hoping she can't wait. The train tickets came through, and when she saw them she was so excited. And I can't wait, because I think with everything that's happened recently that I need the break too, even though I'm not hugely keen on going any great distance at the moment because of this Indian variant has arrived in the UK. I still consider myself to be, you know, reasonably safe, and I do social distance where I can, and I wear my mask and or sanitise and all the things, but it's a bit like putting a car on the road, isn't it, and driving down the road. If you know you're doing everything correctly, that's all well and good. Other people also have to do things correctly. If other people are not doing what they should be doing, that's when accidents happen, illnesses get passed on, the difficulties happen, you know, that have contributed to, you know, the locking down of the country and all the rest of it and all the things. And I managed to unthread my needle. Whoops, I can't find that other flipping needle and all. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm moving my hand out of the way because I have a broken nail and I have a stitching wound. Does anybody else get this when they're working two-handed and they spike their finger? I seem to be doing this all the time lately, and then I'll go months and it not happen. So annoying. My finger heals up, it's no longer sore, and then bam, straight through. And I wouldn't mind, but these tapestry needles are meant to be blunt. It's either they're not blunt. What have I done? It's either they're not blunt, or this isn't just simply not concentrating this. Or my skin's really, really weak and fragile. What a dipstick I am. Because I'm not concentrating. I tried to stitch over a stitch that's already been stitched. And I'm meant to have good eyesight, even though I wear glasses for stitching on 25 count and 28 count. And I can't even get the thread in the right flipping hole on a 14. I don't know if I should call myself simply a stitcher or simply a dingbat. Oh well. Back on track now. And I'm nearly done with this square, so this is such an easy stitch. You know, sometimes when you're doing full coverage and you've got lots of block colour which can be boring, or lots of confetti which can be irritating, this is such an easy stitch. Oh god, everybody's going to get seasick. This is such an easy stitch, and I'm so glad that I chose to do this on 14 counts, because it makes it not mindless. It's not the word I'm looking for. Oh dear, I think you guys will know what I mean. It makes it so that it's different and it's refreshing almost. But because this design is so lovely, I've been to Italy, and I think this is Venice, but I've been to Rome, and it reminds me so much. Me and my husband spent our honeymoon in Rome. It reminds me so much of Rome, and I was just like, yeah, I see it, saw it, loved it, bought it, downloaded it, kitted it, stitching it. But there we go. So my mania plan was not to have any new starts. It was a monogamania. You'll see in my floss tube how that went wrong. In the happiest and nicest of ways. And I just snip off that thread. just move my light a little bit and you might see the colour, because I'm not very happy about how it's not showing the true colours. I think that's probably as good as we're going to get. So as you can see, there's the creams and the pinks and the purples, and then we've got a little bit of brown and electric blue down here. You know, when you look at your stitching close up and you think, wow, never thought it looked that good. But you know. Anyway, that's 100 stitches, 40 minutes, lots of earthquakes, lots of rambling, one lost needle. What else? I don't think there's much else really, except to say, guys, I'm really honoured. I'm honoured to be stitching and have so many people want to stitch with me and want to join me. As I said, please do the thing, do the like, do the subscribe. It helps me enormously. The amount of ones that I've had recently means that the YouTube algorithm has picked up some of my videos and put them in suggested videos for people, and I know that I've gained some followers and some subscribers through that. All that's left for me to say is I'll see you in my regular floss tube, but as I said, don't discount the fact that there might be a silent stitch with me in the middle, you know, just some stitching with some nice music. I'll talk to you all then, and hopefully I'll have a better sort of life update, as it were. Well, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else really I can say, except it's now almost 7 and I've got to go and wake some kiddies up. Anyway, enjoy your stitchy weeks. Remember to stitch what you love, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.